on the track.
Peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Big Slang Hope. I got another story time for y'all. You know what I mean? It's been a little minute. But yeah, this story is about how the one blood homie I used to chill with back in the days when I was doing my thing. You know how he ran on me. He ran on me on his block in front of some girls. Shit was crazy. But bear with me. But before I get into the story, if you like my content, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate if you like it, you share it, and you subscribe to the channel. Also, you know, you can talk to me in the comments too, what you think about my stories. But anyway, boom, get back into the story. So, you know, back in the day, you know, y'all have been following my story. Y'all know, I was rolling with the boys in blue. You know what I mean? So, you know, back in the days, like what, early 2000s, I don't know how it was in the 90s, but in the early 2000s, like mid 2000s, mid 2000s, early 2000s, mid 2000s, when I got into the streets, you know, to the gang banging and stuff like that, like, there wasn't a lot of fraternizing. Like if you chose a side, you chose a side. Like now it's a little different, you know, people be mixy and then, you know, they cool with the other side and, you know, they getting money and they rapping together and they doing a lot of that stuff. But back then it wasn't really like that. Like back then if you chose a side, you chose a side. Like I don't have fights back then with people that I went to middle school with or like went to high school with or that I was so-called cool with because, you know, we went separate ways. So I'm just trying to show you how shit kind of like was back then. Like if you chose a side, you chose a side. So like, so when I was banging, a lot of like my homies that before they turned Crip, they was neutral. So, you know, they ain't had nothing to do with nothing. So they was cool, they was chilling. So there was this one blood kid, they was cool with him, you know what I'm saying? So they used to be like, oh, yo, bro, like, mind you, I ain't fraternized, I ain't chill with none of them dudes, you feel me? Like, it was just like I said, I made it, like, I used to see them, I used to say, what up? Like, we used to play ball, whatever, but like, it just was different. It was no fraternizing, bringing them to your crib and like doing certain stuff. Like, you know, it just wasn't like that. Unless y'all was really tight, like from when y'all was young. But like if y'all just went to school, y'all was just classmates. Y'all was just, it was none of that. You feel me? So, and then there was a lot of discipline too. Like I feel like in my set, it was just like they didn't fraternize either with the homies. You feel me? So it was just kind of like if you got caught like doing some funny stuff or like it was just different. Like. You couldn't even save nobody unless they was like family. So that's just how serious it was, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, boom. So they had this one friend, he was blood. And they was just like, oh, like, yo, he mad cool. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? My crib used to be the spot. Like, mind you, I used to be neutral dudes that used to be chilling in my crib back in the days. So, you know, they used to come to the crib and blow it down. You know what I'm saying? I used to be, you know, something a little boy here and there. So, and I always used to match their joints. They splits, you feel me? So, anyway, everybody used to come to my crib. My crib was a spot, you know what I'm saying? So they was just telling me like, oh, like your son is mad cool, like yo, let him come through. And I was like, no. Like I was on some no, like it's not happening. It's not, no. Like I don't care how cool he is, keep him outside. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they was like, nah, he be trying to cop, like, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, you know, I ain't gonna say no to no money. But so anyway, so boom, I gave it a shot, right? I was all right, whatever. So, you know, we got cool. We started kicking it. He was a little older too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, got left back a few times and shit. If you see this, it's just a story, man. Just chill and get mad. But look, so we was chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got cool. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, like, you ever meet people that just be talking, like, they just be talking crazy. Like, they just be like, yo, I keep it official. I'm official. I keep it thorough. I keep it trim. Like, for no reason. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for no reason. Some people just be volunteering information. So he was just like, I keep it official. I ain't gonna mention his set. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, yeah, my joint one of the first sets. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he used to just be going crazy. So I was like, whatever. I ain't never, I didn't really care. But he was just like, yo, So, you talk so much. When you around people that talk so much like that, you be like, oh, he, all right. Not that you can't wait to get into a situation with them, but you just be like, oh, he probably about that mess. You know what I'm saying? But then, it was early on in the game. But I also realized that, like, a lot of dudes that got a big bark don't really got a big bite. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like them little Chihuahua dogs. You know what I'm saying? They be barking, getting crazy. As soon as the big dog get close, they you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I get the point. But anyway, he was one of these dudes. He was always talking about he keep a trail, he this, he that, boom, 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 big bad wolf. So one day we happened to go to his block. You know what I'm saying? Like, we happened to go to his block. So we walk into the block. You know what I'm saying? He lived across the street from some projects. He didn't live in the projects, but he lived across the street from the projects. So we get there, right? So mind you, when I go to people's block, I always ask people if they got problems in their hood. Like, I be like, yo, you good in your neighborhood? Like, everything, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got no beef, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? I always ask people that. I just try to be on point. I just try to, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, this dude told me, like, nah, I'm good. Like, everything good. Yo, of course, you going with the front. I'm good. Everything good. It's my hood. You know how these dudes be doing. So anyway, we get to the block. So boom, we go to the park. We supposed to be chilling with some Jones. You know what I'm saying? It was early on. I was like 17 at the time. You know what I'm saying? He was like 20 already. He was older than us, like I said. So so we go to the park. We chilling. So we call like these 3 joints over there. So these 3 joints come through. Mind you, it was me, him. It was probably like 5 of us, 5, 6 of us. It was me, him. He was the only blood. The other homeboys was Crip. You feel me? So we chilling in the park, listening to music or whatever. So then we like, yo, let's go get some. So we was like, yo, let's go get some liquor and some bud, right? Like, you feel me? So we like, have a little fun, you know what I mean? So we like, all right. So when we was going to the liquor store, it was just me and him. So me and my boy, I'm gonna call him B. You know what I'm saying? Me and my boy B. You know what I'm saying? We was like, yo, I told all the homeboys, like, yo, only me and B gonna go to the liquor store. You feel me? Like, y'all stay back. It don't need to be all of us going to the liquor store. We in front of the liquor store. Mind you, he was 20, so he couldn't even get the liquor technically either. So anyway, we was like, it don't make sense for all of us to go. We just gonna go, and we went with the shorties. So, back in the days, dudes used to do a little funny stuff, and they used to leave with the joints. You know what I'm saying? So my mans and I was like, nah, y'all trying to leave with the joints. Y'all think y'all slick. I'm like, nah, bro, like, I ain't gonna do that. Like, I was like, nah, we just gonna go. It's just too many of us going. Like, we don't need to be rolling deep. I was stupid. Should never done that. But anyway, I was like, yo, it makes sense if y'all stay back and we just go, me, him, and the 3 girls. So they're like, oh, y'all trying to be whatever. So they let us go, right? Boom. We go to the liquor store. As we walk into the liquor store, one of the shorties that we was with, she was a problem girl. Like, she used to line dudes up. So we walked past this one dude, and he was tight. Like, he was just like, yo, like I guess she got him jumped or something. So I don't know if he felt like I was one of the dudes. I don't know, but he was just looking like mad funny, and then he was just like moving funny. So I'm just like, I'm just watching him, but like, it was just like, I didn't know what type of, I didn't know these girls was giving it up like that. So anyway, that was like the first weird shit. So we walk like a few blocks. So we finally get to like the block where like the corner, there's a corner store and then there's a liquor store right next to it. So we get to the block. So when we get to the block, my man's go inside the liquor store. Well, the liquor store happened to be closed. So he goes inside the grocery store. So he's like, all right, forget it. We just gonna get some Smirnoffs, and we're gonna spin back to the park. So I was like, all right, cool. So he goes inside the store. I'm standing outside. It's summertime. I got my shirt off. I used to have my shirt off a lot back then. So it's summertime. I'm outside. It's hot. I got my shirt off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got the water in my mouth because, the boys used to, back then it was like stop and frisk. So the boys used to be hopping out all crazy, searching people, just wilding. And we was making noise, so they used to always hop out on us too. So anyway, I got the water in my mouth, so I'm sitting outside. So like, the girls is outside too. So mind you, this is their hood. Like, again, I live a few blocks down, but this is still their hood, you feel me? So they come through. So anyway, the girls is outside, so 2 dudes pull up in a bike, right? So 2 dudes pull up in a bike, they talking to her, and they was just staring at me, you feel me? Like, dudes like that fist fighting shit, like that gay shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they fist fighting me, and I'm just like I'm just staring at them too. Back then I used to fall for them little stupid things. So we both face fighting. So we just like, they looking at me, I'm looking at them. And then but before that, so son come out so after that they just rode off. But before they rode off, they see my man's come. I don't know if they see my man's. They see my man's. They seen him. He came out to ask me for money or something, and then they seen him or whatever. And they played it off regular. So then they drove. They rode off. So when they rode off, they didn't ride towards the projects. They was from the projects, but they didn't ride towards the projects. So I ain't think none of it. Like back then in my mind, like I would have been like, if I seen them ride towards the projects, I would have been like, that was mad weird. Like the way they just rode off. But they rode off in the opposite direction. So I was just like, so they rode in the opposite direction towards somewhere else. So I'm like this. I'm like, I ain't think none of it. So boom, we get whatever we get. We walk it back to the park. So as we walk it back to the park, mind you, it was 2 dudes on bikes. Now it was 12 dudes on bikes. Like I've been in jump before, so I already know it's lit. Like it's not a coincidence. So as soon as I see the 12 dudes on bikes, I'm just like, yo, man, like I'm just trying to get lit with the girls, man. Like these dudes over here, like today's not a good day to get jumped. It's just not. You feel me? So I'm just like, I already know what it is. So I turned to my man and I'm like, yo, bro, you know these dudes, bro? I'm like, yo. And he was just like, nah, like he, what I'm saying? He looked back, he like, nah. I was like, bro, you sure you don't got no problems over here? He was like, nah, bro, everything good. I was like, all right, bro. Keep walking. As soon as it started getting closer, the girls started going like, no, please, stop. Like, no. So I was just like, oh, man, this shit's about to get crazy. Like, when the girls start doing that, when they start pleading with the gangsters, I'm supposed, they start pleading with the gangsters to leave you alone, you already know. Like, you're going to have to scrap. So anyway, what I'm saying? They saying whatever they saying. I'm just like, man, this shit is crazy. So, boom. They was on bikes, so now they cut us off, right? So like, we standing in the sidewalk, and it was like 2 cars parked, or it was 1 car. I think it might have been 1 car. It was like a minivan, I think. So it was, it was a big enough space of a car parked like right here, and then they cut us off from both sides of the back of the car and the front of the car. We on the sidewalk though, so they cut us off, and we just standing there now. So I'm like, yo, like what's this shit about, man? Like, so dude pull up, he like, yo, way out front. So, they had like a leader. He was the only one that was talking. Everybody else was just standing there. So they like, yo, way out front. Mind you, the girls is in the street. They got us surrounded around the minivan and shit. And we on the sidewalk. So the dude was like in the street too. He was talking. He was like, yo, way out front. And I was just like, yo, what is this shit about, man? Like, so, excuse me. So he like, so my mans go, mind you, the strip, I'm still around Gun Hill, you feel me? Like, so the strip is right there. So I'm like, yo, what is this shit about? So he's like, man, where y'all from? And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm from over here. So my mans go, yo, I'm from around the corner, you know what I'm saying? The way he was just talking, it was just like, bro, they trying to front on us. Like, why you over here having a conversation? He said, yo, I'm from around the corner. So then they was like, all right, cool. So one of the dudes was like, all right, so just give me $10. So I was just like, $10. So he like, yo, I don't even got it right now. So I'm looking at this dude. The moment he said he don't even got it, I knew I was by myself. Like, I just knew it. I just knew it. Like, and then the dude said, so what about your mans? Yo, son, dad looked at me like he wanted to borrow the $10, right? So when he looked at me, I was just like, I was looking at him like, I'm not giving up nothing. Like, I ain't say that, but I was just looking at him like, so then the dude goes, F that. He said, yo, go in their pockets, yo. So when he said that, bro, they got next to son. Mind you, we together, but it's like the way they approaching him is like on his side, like, cause it was like garbage bags right there on the curb, right? So like the way they approach him, they on his side, like, and then like I'm like, I can't fully turn this way because it's dudes on this side too. So I'm kind of like gotta watch these dudes. You feel me? So like they got to him, whatever, they next to him or whatever, and they searching the bags. Mind you, we had the Smirnoff Ice in the bag. So they going through the bags and they like, yo, what you got in the bag? So they looking in the bag. Mind you, I'm like this. When I thought about that afterwards, I'm like, yo, this dude had 3 glass bottles. It was just crazy. But anyway, bro, they tapping his pockets. They looking in the bag, and I'm just like, wow. And then out of nowhere, like, so as I'm trying to watch everything, because I feel like I'm by myself. As all of this shit happened, he just got snuffed. Like, it was so crazy. Like, he just got snuffed, and then his hat flew off, and it went over the gate, because we was like, behind us was a gate to our house. So he got snuffed. The hat flies over the wall. He drops. My instinct was like, all right, we getting it on. It's about to be a rumble. So boom. So before that, the pocket thing, they said go in their pockets. So when son tried to get next to me, I was like, yo, you're not going in my pocket. Like, they was already touching them. They was already like going through the bag, doing all that. So when son tried to get next to me, I said, bro, you're not going in my pockets. So he was like, oh, you trying to get it popping? So I was like, what up? You know what I'm saying? So when that happened, that's when he got snuffed. Like, it was just like, it was lit, you feel me? Probably was my fault. I don't know. He was cooperating and shit. I don't know. I just couldn't let somebody go in my pocket. As a man, you don't let another man go in your pocket. But anyway, like I told you, he got snuffed. The hat came off. He drops the bottles that he had in his hand. He drops the bottles. He did some, like, bum rush through them. Mind you, because when he got hit, like, I can't fully turn my back, but I just thought he was going to fight. So when I seen him just drop the shit and just bum rush through the thing, I'm trying to still make sure this dude over here is, like, not going to jump on me from behind. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just, like, stuck. Like, I couldn't really. He just did some bum rush. He runs in the street, and he like, yo, Vic, we out. Mind you, I'm like, hold on. He like, yo, Vic, we out. And then he just started running down the block. So I'm sitting there. And then they started chasing him. So one dude's chasing him. Mind you, it was like 10, 12 of them. So dude's chasing him. So I feel like all the attention was towards him. I feel like they really wanted him, to be honest. I feel like the problem was really with him. The beef was really with him. He acted like he don't remember. But anyway, they really wanted him. So, you know what I'm saying? They chased him, and then one dude caught up to him, snuffed him in the back of the head. So when this happened, he stopped, and he wanted to fight now. So I'm just looking at the whole thing like, why did you run from the beginning? But I don't know. So he stops. He's trying to square off. So now the other dude's running that way. So I run too. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I run that way too. Like. So then one of the little dudes, he ended up picking up the bag with the glass. And now he got the bag and he's trying to swing it at me. Like, it was just like some whole stupid shit that night. You feel me? Like, so then after that, somebody came out and they was like, yo, I'm calling the police. Y'all better leave. Whatever. We went back. You know what I'm saying? Them other dudes scattered or whatever when they heard police. We went back, grabbed my man's hat. And then he was blaming the girls, right? So the girls was there. They watched him run. You feel me? So, like, he was blaming the girls. Like, oh, y'all set me up. Y'all set me up. So the girls was like, we ain't set you up. Like, whatever. So he was mad, right? Boom. I go back to the park. So he was over there arguing with them. And he told them, yo, let's meet up. We want to fight. So we about to meet up and fight with them. So I go back to the park. I go get the homeboys. I'm like, yo, like, it's lit, yo. They just tried to jump us. So they thought I was joking. They was like, you lying. I said, I'm dead serious, bro. And I was like, yo, what's the name? B got snuffed too. So I started laughing and shit. They was like, you lying. I'm like, I'm dead serious. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I don't know if I don't think I told him that he ran. I was like, yo, B got snuffed too. So I'm like, yo, come on, we over there. So boom, on our way over there, it was garbages. So we picking up bamboo sticks and all type of crazy stuff. So we grabbing the bamboo sticks. You know, that's how, if you know about the Bronx back then, like, it was just like, people was rumbling. Like, it wasn't a lot of it was shootings, but we were young, so it wasn't amongst our age. Not like now, like today, all the young dudes be shooting and stuff, right? Like, back then, like, a lot of young dudes wasn't really shooting. Like, we was really getting to it. Like, we was fighting, rumbling, like, it was crazy. So, we picking up bamboo sticks and stuff, right? So we told the girls, yo, tell them we want to meet them. So, cause they had the number to some of them dudes, right? They knew some of them. So they was like, oh, come to the projects and fight. And we're like, we're not going to no projects to fight. I was like, yo, meet us on Boston Road and Gun Hill. That was, you know, if y'all know the area. So we like, yo, we gonna meet, you know, halfway. Like, you know what I'm saying? So boom. Mind you, as we walking over there to go meet these dudes. This dude was texting the girl. You know what I'm saying? B was texting Shorty. Long story short, so now when the homeboys, as we walk into the meet spot to go fight these dudes, right? The other homeboys is asking a question. They're like, yo, they was like, yo, what happened? So as he telling the story, he like, yeah, and this what happened, and we came back from the store. And then as he telling the story, all of a sudden we were separated. We were separated in the story. So one of the homeboys, he was like, yo, how y'all got separated? And he skipped over it. You feel me? Like, he just kept talking. So whatever. They was just listening to him. Long story short, by the time we got to the meet spot, before we even got to the meet spot, he was already texting Shorty, and he told Shorty he didn't want to fight no more. Right? We didn't know that till later, till after the fact. So by the time we get to the meet spot, it looked like them dudes didn't show up. You feel me? It just looked like we was there, they didn't show up. But the whole time he texted Shorty like, I don't want to fight no more. So so he got whatever, his step pops came pick him up, he got in the V, he left. So now they was like, yo, what really happened? So I'm telling them like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, he got snuffed and he didn't want to fight. I mean, he got snuffed and he ran. And I was like, I'm not running, especially not with no girls. I'm not. I'm not gonna run, period, because we had a certain strict code of running. Like, you don't run, like, you feel me? Like, and if they found out, like back in the days, you know, the set I was in, like if they found out you ran in a situation, like, you gonna get checked. That's what we used to call it. You gonna get disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you don't want to get disciplined. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well take the ass whooping from whoever gonna jump you. So that's just the mindset we had. We're not running. So excuse me. So anyway, yeah, so he left. I told him what really happened. But before that, he was calling all my man. Again, like he went uptown, he moved uptown, and then he didn't really have friends and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so all the dudes he was really hanging out with was Crip. So, anyway, so he calling like all the people he was cool with, like, which is really my mans and them, right? So he just like, yo, they try to jump me and Vic. So he throwing me in the mix so people could come. So, you know, my friends started coming and stuff, but like, they don't really know what happened. So after he left, like, I told him, like, I was like, yo, something ran, I ain't gonna lie. And they was like, yo, that's crazy. So, you know, they wanted to discipline him too, because, you know, that was just how we, you know, that was the code. But I'm like, yo, he not Crip at the end of the day. Like, we can't really discipline him. And, you know, the homeboys didn't care. They was just like, so what? He hang out with us. They could have jumped you. They could have violated you. I was like, yeah, but we not going to do all that. Like, it is what it is. And then, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was cool. I didn't tell nobody. I just told a few people that was there. And nobody was talking about it. Nobody was saying that. But then he was going around trying to make it seem like I did some sucker shit. Like, I could have did more. I'm just like this. I'm like, homie, I'm not fighting for nobody who not fighting for themselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you clearly got snuff. And your inclination was to run. It wasn't even to fight. It wasn't even to do certain stuff. And that shit happens all the time today. Like, you think your mans is riding. And you know what I'm saying? Like, then the situation presents itself and dudes be running. Dudes be running. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't thinking about you. They trying to get up out of there. Self-preservation. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I mean, but hey, like, anyway, he started going around trying to make it seem like it was on me. Like, I could have did more. I'm like, oh, bro, you didn't do nothing for yourself. We had to have a conversation at that. I'm like, bro, you didn't do nothing for yourself. I'm not fighting for nobody who not fighting for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just how it go. Like, now, if we was in the same gang, it might have been a little different. But even in the same gang, like, I would have exposed you. I'd be like, yo, he didn't fight back. And they probably would have disciplined you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but, yeah, he just started, like, going around, like, trying to throw dirt on my name. Even though I kept his secret. You feel me? I ain't tell nobody. I only told, like, the people that was close to us. And then the girls went to school and was talking about it. You know what I'm saying? This is why you don't run. You don't do sucker shit in front of girls. The girls went to school and told everybody, like, this nigga, but he was running. He was this. So he was tight. Like, you can't even deny it. You can't even hide it. You can't even say nothing. Then he tried to justify it by saying, I was running to my man's crib that got the gun. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. Look, man, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, I don't know where you was going. I just know what you did. So, you know, he was a little salty about it, but, you know, we shook hands on it. And he was like, yo, I swear to God, that's never going to happen again. You know, he was still with the hype man, theatric stuff. But it's a lesson, man, that, like, you never know who really ride until it's time to ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, so y'all just better be mindful. You know what I'm saying? That situation could have got crazy. It really didn't. I got another story, too, where I really got jumped. And son, like, walked, like, he literally left. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother story. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it is the story. It's a little lengthy, but it's a lesson in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, can't really trust what a lot of people, you know, yap about. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're doing stuff in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta keep your eyes open. Always act like you by yourself, man. Always, even when you in a group, just nobody gonna have you like you got you. You know what I'm saying? That's just the moral of the story. If you're out there running around, you know what I'm saying? Some of your mans, they're going to be body, but, like, unless you only really know somebody that's body until you see it. You know what I'm saying? If you've been in situations with. And even those people that you be in situations with sometimes switch up when it comes to certain situations. So, you know, just be mindful of that if y'all going to be running around, dibbling, dabbling, and doing all that other funny stuff, man. But if you like the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. And let me know what's up. What y'all would have did. Y'all would have just rocked it off when your mans got snuffed. Y'all would have just snuff, son? Like what y'all would have did? I don't know. I feel like me hesitating, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, it happened so fast, but, like, you know what I'm saying? I just really got to see. I just be thinking about, damn, what if I would have just rocked, son? And now all the aggression went from him to me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, y'all just be mindful. But let me know in the comment section what y'all would have did, though. Word. Peace.